honorable members of the church, delegates, sponsors, and observers. Good morning. The word politician fascination is a woman behind the character of Jacinda Ardern, the youngest candidate in the history of the Labour Party, offered a very different image in comparison of her procedures and above all the contribute ideas that were in tune with those of many young people who for years had not felt represented by political leaders very far from the street. Ardern was able to capture their attention by introducing in the speech topics such as free university, the price of housing, the legalization of marijuana, child poverty, gender inequality, the fight against the consequence of climate change, or the degradation of capitalism. The charismatic possibility to earn a reputation as a rockstar politician on the way to become New Zealand's youngest Prime Minister in more than 150 years at the age of 37. For this reason, these are the main five political strategies that make her be example for very good. The first one, after the far right Islamophobic crime, Ardern announced a tightening of gun control laws. Now, this government implements with agility and pragmatism the sale of possession of the semi-automatic and assault weapons it prohibited. Second one, the Zero Carbon Bill made headlines for decrying a lack of global action on climate change in a speech at the United Nations at the Pacific Island Forum, which was attended by many of the leaders whose island nations are most at risk from reaching sea levels. Third one, sexual and domestic violence law. In 2018, a new law brought by the Green Party allowed victims of domestic violence to take 10 days of paid leave from work on top of the regulation holiday. The government passed a law making strangulation and separation offense to regular assault. Fourth one, action on refugees. New Zealand's refugees quote will increase in 2020. The government in 2019 reversed a rule that restricts refugees from Middle Eastern and African nations from sitting in New Zealand unless they could prove family connections to their country, something that was difficult to do and which policy advocates describe as a rest. The way she handled the pandemic, in addition to being the first country to eliminate the virus in this territory, although Ardern has warned that it will certainly return, New Zealand has registered from of the lowest number of cases and deaths in the world. Politics can sometimes be simple, empathic, and sensible. To the extent of murders are repeated, victims are named, and the refugees is given voice. If access to firmas is difficult, such victims can be promised that something similar will never happen again. It is something that is already known around the world. Fewer weapons mean great security, and where this is not a preemption, something is being done wrong. Where there is danger, one save us, or so is well, says a famous verse by the German poet, which can serve to brief but clearly describe current events in New Zealand. Her drive, her audacity, and above all, her empathy. The word most associated with her figure were decisive in boosting her population. The candidate was not afraid of the word or openly defined herself as a feminist, a social democrat, a progressive, a republican, and a strong defender of gay marriage. After her first appearance as party leader with a speech full of positive message and optimism, the donation overwhelmed and the volunteers multiplied, what the press called the Jacinda Mania of the Ardern effect was unless almost a pop phenomenon. The candidate saw how her image multiplied in the most diverse merchandising, and her face went to crown the body of heroines such as Wonder Woman. Although through the years that she has been in power, she has already had time to start in historical moments and also fights against the elements such as was during an interview she was surprised by an earthquake and showing the same temperance in natural disaster, as in her everlasting smile never left her artificial. She also had time to be faithful to her electoral program. She removed abortion from the Crimes Act, support gay marriage, became New Zealand Prime Minister to march in a LGBTQ pride parade, extend parental leave, launch a program to combat child poverty, raise the minimum wage and social benefits. She raised the salaries of teachers and got to work to combat the country's biggest problem, using flexibility the process of new housing by foreigners. The triumph of empathy. This is Jacinda Ardern. Thank you.